What if everything you've been told about kings and queens is wrong? What if the British crown wasn't built on honor, but on betrayal, war, and power taken by force, and nearly lost more times than history admits? For nearly 1,000 years, one royal line has held the crown of England. But this is not a story of quiet rule. It is a story forged in conquest, ambition, and relentless struggle. It begins in 1066 when a determined Norman duke crossed the sea, defeated a king, and claimed a throne by force. From that moment on, the crown was never simply inherited, it was earned, defended, and sometimes stolen. Rulers rose and fell in rapid succession. Some governed through fear, tightening their grip with ruthless control. Others reshaped the nation with bold reforms that echoed far beyond their reigns. There were moments of brilliance and long stretches of chaos, where loyalty shifted as quickly as power itself. From blood-soaked battlefields to moments of fragile triumph, the monarchy evolved through constant conflict. William the Conqueror didn't just take England, he transformed it, laying the foundation of a new order. After him came kings like William Rufus, whose sudden death in a hunting accident raised more questions than answers, and Henry I, a calculating ruler who brought structure but ruled with an iron hand. Then came Stephen, whose weak claim plunged the kingdom into civil war, tearing the land apart. Henry II restored authority and established the roots of common law. Yet his reign was marked by a fatal clash with the church. His son, Richard the Lionheart, became a legend abroad on crusade, though he spent little time ruling England itself. In his absence, King John's harsh rule sparked rebellion, forcing him to accept the Magna Carta, a turning point that placed limits on royal power for the first time. But stability remained elusive. Henry III struggled against rebellion, while Edward I expanded control through conquest. His successor, Edward II, suffered humiliating defeat, weakening the crown's authority. Edward III pursued glory in foreign wars, igniting decades of conflict that drained the kingdom. By the time Richard II was overthrown, England stood on the edge of collapse. Then came the Wars of the Roses, a brutal struggle between rival factions of the same royal bloodline. This was not just war, but betrayal, shifting alliances, and ruthless ambition. Kings were crowned and cast aside. Loyalty meant survival, and survival was never guaranteed. In the end, Richard III fell on the battlefield, closing one chapter and opening another. From the chaos emerged a new dynasty. Henry VII restored order, but it was Henry VIII who transformed the nation's identity. Breaking away from the Catholic Church, he reshaped religion and authority to serve his will, leaving a legacy that would define England for generations. His successors brought further upheaval. Edward VI advanced reform, but died young. Mary I reversed course with brutal force, while Elizabeth I restored stability and led England into a golden age of strength and cultural growth. Her reign brought confidence and unity, but with her death, uncertainty returned. The monarchy passed to new hands, carrying forward a legacy shaped by conflict and change. Each ruler inherited not just a crown, but the weight of centuries of battles fought, power challenged, and a nation constantly redefining itself. The crown passed to James I, uniting the English and Scottish thrones under one ruler, but unity did not bring stability. His son, Charles I, believed deeply in absolute power, ruling without parliament and demanding loyalty without question. Tension grew until it finally erupted into civil war. For years, the kingdom was divided not by foreign enemies, but by its own people. Neighbor fought neighbor, and the authority of the crown was challenged like never before. In 1649, the unthinkable happened. Charles I was tried, condemned, and executed by his own subjects. The monarchy collapsed, and England became a republic under Oliver Cromwell. For a brief moment, kingship itself seemed to belong to the past, but the absence of a crown brought its own instability. And within a decade, the monarchy was restored. Charles II returned from exile with a new understanding power now had limits. Yet the balance remained fragile. His brother, James II, attempted to reassert royal authority, pushing too far, in a nation that had already rejected absolute rule. In 1688, he was peacefully replaced in what became known as the Glorious Revolution. William and Mary took the throne, and with them came a permanent shift. Monarchy would continue, but ultimate power would rest with Parliament. From that point forward, the crown adapted to survive. Queen Anne oversaw the formal unification of England and Scotland into Great Britain, marking a new political era. The monarchs who followed ruled less as absolute leaders and more as symbols of continuity. Real authority steadily moved into the hands of elected officials, while the monarchy evolved into an institution of tradition and identity. During the reign of George III, Britain faced both expansion and loss. The American colonies broke away, reshaping the empire and forcing the nation to reconsider its global role. Internal struggles and personal challenges marked his later years, reflecting a monarchy no longer defined by dominance but by endurance. As time moved forward, the role of the crown continued to shift. Extravagance, reform, and public scrutiny shaped the rulers who followed until a young queen stepped onto the throne at a moment of transformation. Victoria inherited a nation on the rise and came to define an entire era. Under her reign, Britain expanded into a vast global empire, powered by industry, innovation, and ambition. Railways stretched across continents, trade networks spanned oceans, and British influence reached every corner of the world. Yet beneath the progress lay a more complicated truth. Empire brought wealth and power, but also control, exploitation, and lasting consequences for those under its rule. By the time Victoria's era ended, the world had changed, and so had the monarchy. The 20th century brought challenges that no crown could command away, or reshape nations, and the monarchy was forced to prove its relevance in a rapidly modernizing world. George V led, during the turmoil of World War I, strengthening the monarchy's connection with the people, and redefining its image. Then came a crisis of a different kind. Edward VIII chose love over duty, stepping down from the throne and altering the line of succession overnight. His brother, George VI, reluctantly became king at a time when leadership mattered most. During World War II, he remained with his people, offering stability not through power, but through presence and resilience. In moments of fear and uncertainty, the monarchy became a symbol not of control, but of unity.